Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, we got a pretty cool video for you guys. I'm gonna be talking about every single project car that I have, the plans with them, and then I got a little Q&A, I guess, for my girlfriend here, Mallory. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Kevin. I like to work on cars, get my hands dirty, from building things to just throwing on some little accessory pieces. So sit back, relax, grab your coffee if it's the morning for you, and yeah, let's get into it. I have 4 different cars at the current moment. Which ones are they?
We have the Scion XB, BMW E36, Subaru WRX, and the Mercedes-Benz C300.
So to get a little bit more in depth for you true car nerds, all my car fans, I got a 2022 VW WRX, then I got a 2013 Mercedes-Benz, it's a W204 chassis, C300. I have a 2005 Scion XB, and last but not least, I have my baby, a 1995 BMW 318 IS Coupe with a sunroof. It's an E36 chassis for all you BMW fanatics out there. Now, with those 4 cars being said, we're gonna start at the first one that you guys can see it right behind us. That is the motor and the transmission for this car. It's the 2005 Scion XB. So we have an engine replacement, so we have the motor for it sitting here. We have a transmission. We have new motor mounts and transmission mounts. And then the point of that car is to completely sell it. Now, that is not a car I intended to hold on to from the beginning at all. Currently, I am sitting at a whopping $3,800 into the car. Now, if you count motor and transmission, that's an extra over 2 grand right there. So I'm all in, almost 6 grand total, guys, just shy underneath it, around like 5,900. But the point of that car was to get it running, get it working. I thought it was gonna be a quick flip. Funny enough, this car, I had sold it off my hands and everything, cash in hand. Person drove off. 2 hours later, I get a phone call. Hey, Kevin, this car that you sold me is overheating. And I was like, damn. Definitely not a call anybody wants. So pretty much we ended up getting that call. I'm not a bad person. I don't do people dirty. I don't try to, give it somebody something that I wouldn't drive or that I didn't think would last them. You work hard for your money. I think you should get your money's worth. And I was trying to give them a quality product, or so I thought I sold them that. That happened about 50 minutes out, 40 minutes out from where we live. So I re-diagnosed that car, and pretty much it was a bad head gasket. Now, to do a head gasket job, it runs you between $1,500 to $3,000 for that vehicle specifically, especially if you want somebody to do it right, that knows what they're doing, how to get it done quick and easy and out the door. However, that car has 210,000 miles. I didn't want to risk putting it out there and then it going down the drain again in somebody else's hands, as to why I decided to go with a transmission that only has 25,000 miles. And the motor here that's sitting there it was estimated between 40 to 50. They weren't 100% sure because the Carfax of the vehicle they pulled it from showed a little bit differently. I'm gonna estimate that it had the 50,000, the top end, the worst case scenario had 50,000 miles, but they said between 40 to 50,000. And 50,000 miles versus 210,000 is a pretty big gap. But this motor and transmission combo, like I said, it's about 2 grand, yes, but it's direct replacement. You just pull the old one out, put the new one in. It sounds way easier than it actually is, but that's the gist of it, guys. At this point, it's just gonna be a car that I'm gonna probably lose a few $100, maybe 1,000, but as long as I get a good car into somebody else's hands and they're gonna be happy with it and actually use it and drive it, I'm gonna be happy with that result, aside from just losing the 100 or losing the couple hundred or the 1,000 that I end up losing. I think it'll be very well worth it, at least to, do somebody else a favor. Dang, you want me to hop straight into the sauce?
Oh, we're hopping straight in the sauce,
all right,
which means we gotta crack this open.
Wait, I gotta do it too. Hold up. For all you ASMR fans. No, I'm just joking.
Oh no.
Cheers. Hopping on to the next project, guys. The 95 BMW 318IS E36 chassis. Plenty of plans for that car. I never plan on selling it or getting rid of it. The purposeful build for the E36 is a drift, but also streetable legal car. It's just things that are planned right now. It's not guaranteed that it's gonna happen this year, but for sure in the future, and God willing, we'll get it all done. So, plans for the E36. I'm gonna start with the big boy. The engine. It's a 318i S 1.8, no turbo, it's NA. Now, this car is really nice and everything, but it's definitely underpowered for what it is. It barely keeps up in traffic, especially modern day. I just want to take another motor. I don't know if it'll be the one that's in the car or if I end up buying a donor motor and just end up building it completely forged internals. I'm talking pistons, rods, crank, rings, you name it. I'm probably gonna throw it into the build and doing a single turbo, which is the second thing. So engine build, turbo. We also have some extended wheel studs. I actually have them. That's gonna be a project that's already sitting there, but like I said, we're focusing Scion right now. But the extended wheel studs, I definitely wanna get on there because it helps me get the wheels on and off very quickly. Now, I think OEM is a little bit better with the lug bolts, but it is a hassle to get them on and off versus lug nuts as to why I wanna do the extended studs. We also wanna do a roll cage to that car. I definitely want to do a full 6-point roll cage in the whole thing, along with the harness bar. With that, I do want to get a hydro brake for drifting, a big brake kit to help with the braking system of the car. It is dated. I have powder coated brakes on it currently that are a lot newer and refreshed, so it grips pretty nice right now with the brake pads it has, but it definitely could use a lot more, especially once we start getting into the territory of braking more power. That's where I definitely think it's highly, highly, highly important, if not the most important thing, to get big brake kit done, like some Brembos. So, and that's what I want to kind of go to next is some forged wheel setups. I've seen a few Turner Motorsports. I'll probably be throwing up pictures here and there for you guys to kind of get like an idea of where or what the direction of the build is going to be in. Now, reinforced subframe, getting so much more torque and power on the actual car itself. You get a lot more twisting, a lot more turning of the chassis, and I want to reinforce it to where I know nothing's gonna destroy my car at the end of the day or make it start driving crooked. Now, a limited slip differential, obvious reasons, the drifting and the streetable option for that instead of just a full welded diff like a full dedicated drift car would have. Body work and paint, it's a highly important one, very overlooked, but I definitely think that's very important. I'm a big fan of paint. Now, I don't mind wraps. I think they're amazing. I think they changed the game. I think it really cleans up some cars that need it for the low. But if you're trying to go for the long term and keep that car in great condition, bodywork and paint. So next would be bucket seats. Gotta get some good bucket seats in there. The seats are clapped. Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, but if I'm going like taking turns tight and stuff,
Yeah, I guess it could hug you a little bit better.
and throwing around the car, put a meme in. New steering wheel. My steering wheel is a Sparco steering wheel, very nice, but I don't wear gloves every time I drive that car, and the oils on my hands get on it, or if I worked on a car and there's dirt or grime, whatever, and it destroyed my suede Alcantara steering wheel from Sparco. So I think getting a leather steering wheel, or if not going OEM with like a custom OEM steering wheel that has like some carbon fiber maybe, we can play with a couple of ideas, which is pretty cool. That concludes the plans for the E36. Just a streetable, cool drift car, you know?
I'm excited for that one because I feel like that is the true project car in our driveway. The Scion kind of took over a little bit, just given the longevity that we've had it,
Yep.
but I'm ready to actually see the build actually be built.
Yeah. Now, plans with the WRX. Dailyable street build. We got wheel spacers that I need to get. The wheel spacers will definitely help with the fitment. Pushing it out just 20 millimeters helps tremendously on these cars. But with that, I need extended wheel studs so the spacers can fit. Now there is those kits that you could buy wheel spacers and they come with extended studs on them already, but I'd prefer to be more safe than sorry and just get the extended wheel studs from the get, make sure they're good from like ARP or a high rated company, and just have to mount on, you know, the spacers and your wheels and some new lug nuts. So those three together, lug nuts, extended wheel studs, and wheel spacers, definitely will look into. Now, the roof wrap. I've always wanted to, all the cars that I have, I like getting the roof wrapped black, and that's definitely one of the cars that I do have to get that done too, and it's not prioritized right now. I have a couple of other things that get done before I get to that car. A big brake kit. This car is the base model, so there's no big Brembos or nothing, but a lot of people do take the 2019 Brembos, they find them and they do the conversion kit onto the new 2022 or the VB chassis WRX versus the VA. And that's definitely something I want to get into and get some. I want to do red calipers. I think it would stand out really good with the white and the black wheels, and then just have that little pop of red. It'd be super cool. Now, carbon fiber trunk, carbon fiber hood, for sure. Something I've always wanted to do. Now, a front mount intercooler, typical, basic, but I really do think it helps with the cooling effect. Even though the top mount intercooler is also really great, there's also options to upgrade those. So maybe a top mount instead of a front mount, a full intake and a turbo inlet piping for that car that's upgraded, and then going to the airflow system and continuing on. The mid pipe, the down pipe, and a full titanium exhaust. There's the front splitter that I want to do, the side skirts, and the rear lip or diffuser. Whatever I decide to go with. I have seen a lot of OEM that have the STI badging on it that was sold for this generation VBWRX, and I'd love to get it. It's definitely on the pricier side, but OEM, it'll definitely fit well, and I definitely think it'll look good. So that's definitely something I want to go with. Now, a different grill, change it up, maybe do the sports grill. There's not too many options, but for sure I want to do a different grill. Maybe delete the emblem. I'll see. I'm still kind of playing with ideas. I kind of like the emblem, kind of don't right now, so I'm still kind of up in air, but I definitely know I want to change the gray because it doesn't really flow with the black too well on the whole car. Last but not least, wrapping the door handles or doing some sort of sticker, which I've also seen that they sell for this car OEM. It's the little badges that have STI that go tucked against the body panel of the door right behind the handle. So it kind of like contrasts very well and makes it stand out a lot better. Now, that finishes up the 2022 VBWRX daily drivable street car, street build that has some sauce, but is also reliable. That I want to keep reliable for sure. Now, on to the Mercedes-Benz. Now, I had Mallory write down what she would want, so I'm just gonna leave it to her to talk about those little projects, and maybe I will further explain.
So for the first one, I thought it would be cool to have an illuminated front emblem or a spicier grill set up.
A spicier grill. Ooh.
I know. So going on to the next one, I was thinking it would be cool to do some different headlights.
Some different headlights.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Maybe like the one with like the cool like blinker lights, or just like more bright LED.
Oh, like the low lines. Yep. I'll try to put out some pictures, like I said.
No, definitely a backup camera and an Apple CarPlay unit. I'm a girly that used to rely heavily on a backup camera, so this has been very humbling. I haven't hit anything so far. I've been doing great, even with parallel parking. You'd be so...
I'm zooming in on that.
My next one is the suspension.
She wants a new suspension. Like, the suspension has to get reworked for sure, or not reworked, redone. Mm-hmm. This one's pretty clapped out. It's, you know, it got some age on her. It has 108,000 miles we just hit. Pretty much the front suspension is clapped. It rides super low. Every time you hit bumps, it scrapes against the fender sometimes with the rubber of the wheels. So it'll spit a little bit of rubber and make it all black and dirty. It's kind of gross. Mm-hmm. And the rear suspension's actually decent, but we also don't have much weight in the back all the time. It's always just the front, so that's probably why. It's just the front clapping out now, but typically the rear is gonna follow pretty, not too far off.
I was just gonna say it would be good to probably
replace we'll definitely do all four corners for sure.
The next one, the power steering. She's another one that is going out a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like here and there, like still doing really good, but sometimes when I throw it in reverse, it takes me a minute.
Oh yeah, that power steering is starting to go out. I don't know if it's the pump. I don't know if that one has electronic steering. I want to say it does because a lot of power steering on the AMG packaged ones came like that, and it just starts to freeze up or like tighten up, and you just got to replace the whole unit. It's very expensive. again, Mercedes, but it'll be worth it in the end. And it still works right now. It's just sometimes whenever you're at a still or you're parallel parking, that's where it really tests your patience. You guys know how it goes. If you've ever had a car die on you and the power steering goes with it, that's exactly how it feels. Just trying to steer with both hands, tight. So now moving on to the next one.
Next one, I have a rear diffuser. Back to the AMG accent look. I feel like that would look pretty aggressive with it, since we already have like a little lip, right? Or is it called a duckbill? Lip, duckbill.
There you go,
duckbill.
Yeah,
okay.
It's called
Since
the duckbill.
we have that would be a nice little accent to it. Make the back
So like
end a little
contrast against the bottom. I see what you mean. Okay.
I too like the white and black accents, like Kev. So I kind of want to keep that look.
That being said, she wants to redo the top roof. The wrap is starting to peel like towards the very, very back. It's like the ever so slightest bit, but with that, I think just taking it off and putting it back on, I don't know when it was done last either. It looks like the wrap is in pretty good condition, so it probably wasn't that long ago. So just getting that redone, the whole roof panel, getting it all blacked out, and since it has the sunroof, it kind of like goes well together, the whole top.
And then a front bumper refresh. There's just some paint imperfections, so I feel like it would be nice to just redo that whole thing. And then two, a seat repair. So like the front seat is a little bit torn.
Now the front seat, only the driver's side, has a tear along the lines of how the material goes. Now, I was just thinking of either replacing that bottom piece for now, which is, a few $100, and then down the line getting the full red interior, or who knows, maybe when I'm ready to do it, I might just be willing to do the full interior swap.
Then I too wanted or thought it would be nice to have a big brake kit as well, since all of the other builds seem to be having a big brake
kit.
I also have a rims refresh.
So we need to recoat those wheels. The wheels are nice, but they got some age on them for sure. They're the AMG wheels from that generation. Faces of them that were polished at one point are now starting to fade a little bit, and they're starting to chip some paint. Not where the black is, but where the polished little lip is, the silver. Some of the clear is starting to chip off a little bit, and the black has like minor, very, very minor curb rash on like one or two of the wheels. And I would just love to get that, refinished and repowder coated if I could get them powder coated this time around. That way I know the paint is gonna be like very, very nice and hold for a long, long time. And I still want the two-tone the exact same way they look now, and that's just something we want to get done eventually. Now to finish off what Mallory was saying, the last thing I had in mind for the Benz was a more aggressive hood. That might be a little bit in the further future, but for sure something I want to get done eventually to that car. So that finishes up the Mercedes-Benz. The thing that I wanted to get into today as well was asking Mallory 7 questions. She don't even know that I wrote these or whatever, but I thought it'd be very fun and spontaneous. Now, my first question was, how do you feel about having a car guy as a boyfriend?
I love it. I love it because...
And do you recommend it?
If you want to be financially stable, probably not. You have to be supportive about it, because it's like car part money. Some people prefer vacations, but I love seeing what Kevin does with his cars. And I think it's fun. I think it's nice to ride around with a cool car, Because I'm passenger princess always. I don't like driving, so I think it's fun. I would recommend it. I love having a car guy as a boyfriend. It's really fun going to different car meets with him and just seeing what he wants to do next. What would you say?
You could stop holding the gun to her head, thank you.
I was gonna say, I was like, what would you have said if I didn't recommend it?
I would have said nothing. I mean, that's your honest opinion. There's a lot of ups and downs. So like I said, a lot of highs and lows. If you said don't recommend, hey, it really isn't for every girly. You know what I mean?
I recommend it.
Now, leading me on to my next question. Have you dated a car guy before me? And if so, what kind of car did he have?
So I only dated one other car guy before Kevin. He was my first boyfriend. But I wouldn't even call him a car guy, really. But he had a Subaru WRX, hatchback.
And I'm selling mine this week.
No, but it was a bug eye, and I hated it.
A Bug-Eye. It was it the station, like a station wagon type of hatchback thing? Yeah, it was ugly.
It was ugly.
I'm not gonna lie, it's not my favorite.
But his, like, the reason why I guess I say he was a car guy is because he wouldn't shut up about Ferraris.
I'll throw up a picture if she's talking about the one I think of, which I'm pretty sure it's the only one I've ever heard of with that Subaru, with the Bug-Eye ugly car. I'll put it on screen. Not my favorite again. If you have one, awesome.
It was not my favorite.
Unless you were her ex, then we got a problem, baby. No, I'm just joking. What's one ick you have about car guys? Or about me, like being a car guy. What's one ick?
You don't give me the ick.
Point it at her.
That's really hard. I want to say they'll sometimes prioritize the car over you. Like, what if we got in like a fender bender or something, and you'd be like, "Is the car okay? Would you check on me?"
Oh, 100%.
Slight ick, but that's not.
Nah,
I can't really
I
think of
definitely,
anything.
like, I've grown to know it's all materialistic. Totally joking. All jokes aside, definitely people that matter way more.
Yeah.
You know, a human life versus just some object, whatever. All materialistic is replaceable.
And
Something my uncle always taught me when young.
yes, no, that is so important. And I think too, like, something that I've learned to adapt with dating a car guy is when you have free time together, don't think that he's gonna want to always spend it with you. It's gonna probably be in the garage with his car. And, you know, that's okay.
On to the next question. What's your favorite car in general? Like, what's your favorite car? Like, for a daily driver, if you had to pick one, a daily driver and a more like exotic or sports car, what two vehicles are you choosing?
Okay, so sports car, again, my dream was always the C63 AMG.
The W204 chassis?
Wanted that so bad in high
And still
school.
do.
Still
yeah,
do.
And still do, yeah.
Still
That's what
do.
true dream cars are. The new cars that come out, people are like, that's my dream car. It's like, well, now it is, but like,
Yeah,
what was...
'cause it just came out.
What was before? Yeah, like,
Yeah.
whatever. Okay, so the W204 C63, okay.
In terms of a daily, I would really love a Ford Bronco,
A Ford Bronco.
the new one.
You're so basic. Now, leading on to the next question. What's your favorite car out of my fleet at the moment?
I really like all of them.
Like, if you had to choose one, though. You had to choose one.
I'm gonna say the BMW E36.
Really?
That's my favorite.
Damn.
Just because
You ever have that feeling of falling in love again, guys?
I say that because I see genuinely how happy it makes him. And all of the potential I also see with that vehicle and what it's gonna become.
Question number 6. What's a mod I mentioned that you look forward to most on each car?
On each car.
On each car. So we'll start with the oldest, which is my 95 BMW.
Okay. I am most excited for Kevin to get that painted.
Yep.
I'm so excited for that.
So the Benz would be nice. I guess you mentioned them, but which one are you looking forward to the most?
I really like your idea of the hood. I think just the whole like front end look that we kind of have
Coming
planned
together,
for
but
it.
like a
Yeah.
hood, like just
The
more
hood,
aggressive, and
the
then
new
repainted front bumper.
Yeah, I feel like that's
Because then once you get a
change
hood
the
and
look.
repaint that whole like front end along with fenders and blend it, it might look like really, really nice.
and the CarPlay unit.
Hey, there you go. What mod do you look forward to on the 2022 WRX?
My favorite would probably be the carbon fiber.
The carbon fiber trunk? Yeah.
That would be
That'd
a cool accent
really
for
cool.
it.
And leading on to my 7th and last question of the day, so we can wrap this
do.
video up. What project car, would you like to see me build in the future? It doesn't have to be like a project car or clunker. It could be a full build or like something, just whatever type of vehicle you'd want to see me building in the future. What would that vehicle be? What would that car be?
It would be really cool to see you build a Corvette or a GTR.
Really? A Corvette?
Yeah. Because it's different from the fleet we have.
That is very,
American
very
made.
different. American muscle. I mean, that territory of Corvettes wouldn't scare me too much. I really like them. Now, quick question. What kind of Corvette are you talking about? What generation? What year? And same thing with the GTR.
Like the year. I would say.
This is an R35.
Okay.
The
For the
R34
GTR, that's what I think of.
Okay, so an
the
R35 GTR. That's always been the #1 dream car for me, like since the very start, I think I was in like middle school thinking about this car and just couldn't get over it. And to the day, still definitely the top car that I want to get. So that's definitely, I see that. As far as Corvette though, what do you think?
When I think of a Corvette, that comes to mind the red one that Justin had, or the black one.
A C6. A C6 Corvette. Those are very nice. I like the C7s. They're a little bit more aggressive on the body styling.
Okay.
But the C6s as well. Maybe I could be biased because one of my close friends, one of my brothers that I would call, had one and owned one, and we chopped the mufflers off that thing just to hear it roar. It was a fun time with that car for sure. But a C6 Corvette would be pretty cool. I do like them. I do like them a lot. The back end, it just looked crazy aggressive. I've seen some people put some crazy wild like diffusers. The front end, like with the paint matched headlight housing on those, it looks so good, man. Some of these cars are very, very nice. I've actually told Mallory this before, if I were to inch my way into muscle car lane, I'd probably start with a Corvette because of the body styling of it. It's very close to kind of like a European JDM, but like a little bit spicier, you know, like the coupe and like low profile. Like I love that.
Where I would want the lane to end though, because the moment you say muscle car territory, I will never approve of a Challenger or a
now
Charger
there is like a few favorite that I have in there, but that would probably be for a whole different video. There's a few muscle cars that I'd like to get into in like the very far future, and not for me to keep, but just to say that I gotta like own it, had my fun with it, and kind of put my like creativity into a project, and then to put it out there would be so cool. Very much looking forward to a lot of this stuff, guys. Again, we're waiting on a couple of parts, like one of them being the cherry picker. I still have to get a lot of general maintenance stuff for this stuff. So there's still a lot to come for this before we get cracking on it, but it should be hopefully starting within the next week. Look forward to another video next Sunday. Thank you guys so much for staying tuned. If you guys stayed all the way to the end, drop a little, what kind of emoji should they drop?
The one with the sunglasses. And
like this.
What your favorite
one of the sunglasses
mod is.
And this one. And yeah, write what your favorite mod is in general for a car. Yeah. If you guys stayed all the way to the end, what's your favorite mod? Do you guys like exhaust? Do you guys like, you know, maybe a wrap, I guess could be considered a mod, accessory, mod? Just one item though. I want to hear like what other people like more than anything. Just wheels maybe, supercharger, I don't know. You guys let us know. So that's gonna wrap it up, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Please remember to like, favorite, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You already know the deal. We'll catch you in the next one. Till then, keep it true. It's been real, guys. Peace.